What's going on, guys? This is Nick from Budget Bill Garage, and today we're going to be dealing with the oil system on our $200 Craigslist Big Block. Now, the first thing you guys want to do is make sure your mounting surfaces are perfectly clean. We're going to be test fitting the oil pump with the pickup, with the oil pan and the gaskets, testing them all individually, making sure everything fits and we have the proper clearance before we bolt them all down. And you need a clean surface to make sure this thing doesn't leak. So you don't want to be getting oils and stuff all over your new gaskets, which we should be installing. Let me show you what I got. Here we have everything we need to complete the oil system on our Big Block. We have the oil pan, we have the one-piece oil pan gasket, we have the high volume oil pump, as well as the copper gasket for that. I also have the pickup that matches my oil pan, as well as the oil pump drive. This is pretty much all we need. It's a pretty nice pan. It's from Summit Racing, like I said. It is made in America. It comes with one trap door or baffle, whichever one you'd like to say, a directional wind tray, and a crank scraper, so that's pretty good. The gasket we're going to be using today is a one-piece gasket. It's a silicone gasket or a rubber gasket, whatever you would like to call it. I think they're a lot better than the four-piece gaskets. I think the four-piece tend to leak a little more. You got to add a little more silicone, especially to the corners, especially where the gaskets meet. And honestly, I don't really use silicone when I do these. Maybe kind of in the corners where the block and isn't quite level, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. I put a dab there sometimes, but overall, if you use a really good gasket, a good gasket material, you won't have to use any silicone. This particular gasket has some metal sleeves around where the bolt holes are, which is wonderful because it keeps you from over tightening it. It's very hard to find a torque wrench for a decent price that will accurately go down to 12 foot-pounds, which is pretty much what most of these are torqued to. So now that I've showed you the gasket, the last thing we need to do before we start bolting this thing up is make sure we have the proper clearance between the oil pickup and the actual bottom of the pan. You want about 1/4 of an inch. It's really easy to line these up. You kind of just take a ruler, slide it in the bottom of the pan, and measure from the bottom of the pan up to the rail. And when you're on the oil pump, you go ahead and measure from the block mating surface up to the top of that pickup, and then you kind of subtract the two. So we are sitting right at about 8 inches deep on the pan, 7.5 tall on the actual, or 7 3/4 tall on the pickup. Sorry, 7 3/4. So we're at 1/4 inch, which is exactly where we want to be. We want to be at 1/4 inch. I did do that without the gasket, so it's going to add a little bit, but we'll still be well within spec. Now that I showed you how to do that, the last thing we really need to do is just bolt all this stuff up. Again, I'll show you where I'm going to use some silicone, and then we'll just start bolting this thing together. We're going to start by connecting the distributor drive to the oil pump. It just clicks in. Then we'll go ahead and lay our gasket down on our block, put on the oil pump, and then we'll dip the oil pump bolt into a bit of oil and torque it down to 65 foot-pounds. Once we've done that, we're going to go ahead and add a dab of silicone to the corners where I showed you. Make sure our gasket and gasket surface is clean. We're going to go ahead and put that into its proper position. Once the placement of your gasket is pretty much where you want to be, you can go ahead and put on the oil pan. And once it's on, we'll fine tune exactly where I want this gasket. It really shouldn't be too difficult. It should go on pretty easily. Then we're going to go ahead and snug the outside corner bolts down first, probably at about 50% of where you think they should be. Then we're going to kind of start our middle and work our way out kind of diagonally in an X shape sort of, and until we kind of get it tight where we like it. If you don't have a torque wrench that goes down to 12 foot-pounds, You're not trying to really cram this thing on there. Just get it snug. And honestly, if it leaks a bit, it's easier to tighten this thing up a little bit more than it is if you over tighten them and ruin that gasket and everything. So take your time, be careful. Also, you should be able to feel the actual metal rings in that gasket. So you're not trying to crush those, just butt them up against it. All right, so that's the installation of our oil pan, oil pump, and everything else. I don't see this thing leaking. I think it'll be fine. I'm really not worried about it at all. Like I said, I really like the gasket I used. A lot of people make them. Summit makes them. Felt Pro even makes one. A lot of people make this style now. I think it's the best way to do this job. If you like the 4-piece or something else, let me know what you like. Let me know how it works for you. Yeah, drop that in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next episode.